Welcome, ladies and gents, to FACEIT TV here for the FACEIT League, the European edition. And I'm DDK. Joined
and
again.
I'm Delwalk, the coach of Fnatic CSGO. Currently here, having an awesome time in the FACEIT studios, watching some Counter-Strike.
Indeed, and he was here with us yesterday too. But we actually concluded the Oceania region, and Team Immunity did make it through. So we know that's confirmed now. They will be flying to the FACEIT League LAN finals, which is awesome. But we still have so many games to be played for North America and for Europe, which of course you're tuned in here today to see. So let's take a quick look at the standings as they are right now for Europe and see how the teams are progressing and what spots are up for grabs and how things generally look. So NIP, they're already in. They are the first confirmed team, basically.
Yep, and Fnatic to follow, obviously, unbiased.
Obviously.
Obviously. And we have quite a couple of interesting, actually, things that could wrap out in this Europe League of FACEIT, where EnVyUS has been struggling in the start of the league. They have 2 wins and 5 losses to their name, and that's not like EnVyUS.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of variance there. TSM as well, a team that's been doing increasingly well. Obviously, they're such a great team, and they're lagging behind too. I mean, NaVi, they've only got 5 maps played, which is nuts. That's crazy. That means they can really disrupt things in the league. So it's going to be very interesting to see how things turn out. And we will see a NaVi game coming up first here today against Envy. So let's take a quick look at the schedule to see what we can expect. And also because me and Edouard are going to be picking our Vulcan.com teams, as should you guys be as well. So these are the teams and, of course, the players that we need to consider. And Virtus.pro playing twice, so I imagine we'll pick a lot of Virtus.pro players. But, yeah, EnVyUS NaVi, you can see that's a continuation there. That was there were some issues in that game, but we'll be resuming it here today on Inferno. Got another Inferno after that, TSM versus Virtus.pro, which would, of course, have a budding rivalry brewing there, and that's going to be an interesting one. Fnatic and Virtus.pro last. So we get to see a Fnatic game whilst you're here, which is great. Yeah,
it's going to be good. On Mirage as well, against Virtus.pro.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting match, you know. Virtus is very, very strong on Mirage, but recently the form of Mirage for Fnatic has been quite well, so obviously we've struggled a bit online, but I guess that's with... oops, losing my microphone here. But yeah, it's going to be a good game, and we're going to see how everyone's been kind of... It's kind of gone to this period with everyone starting to practice like full time right now. Yeah. Which is, you know, the interesting where all the creative new strategies come up, and so it's going to be a lot of excitement to see throughout that game, and yeah.
All right, well, it's time. Let's pick our team. Let's pick our Vulcan.com team. We've seen the Virtus.pro having 2 matches today, so I think it makes sense that we should really look at the Virtus.pro players, see what kind of value is going on there in our team selection. So we'll be switching to that now. We can get ourselves in the Vulcan picks. So as you can see, the leagues here and some of the buy-ins, the entry fees that are available for you guys to enjoy. And we've actually been doing all right. I think we started with $100 on our account. We've got 104 now. So you know, we're actually doing pretty well, which is very, very good. And all right, so here we go. We can see the values here. We can see the matchups on the top. And let's take a look at the Virtus.pro players. I think that's a good place to start, right?
Yep. Okay. That's where most of the value probably will come from.
So we have $10,000 to spend. So we'll have to see what is going to be a smart choice here. Now, I just want snacks. I just always want snacks whenever Virtus.pro is.
I'm a big fan of snacks as well. He's such a consistent player, and you can never really go wrong with picking snacks for a team like this. So I'm actually, yeah, I'm probably gonna pick snacks as well.
This is kind of rough because we have okay. Who's the cheapest Virtus.pro player? Because snacks is in the middle there. Oh, okay. Well, I guess. Do you think Neo's going to be worth it? Do you think Neo's going to be worth it? I mean, he's kind of expensive as well, 1,800. Not super cheap. But we need. I think we should
a real value player there. Crims was really cheap.
Whoa.
Over there, 1,400.
Indeed. It feels. And we're going to Mirage. We've got to take Crims. Yeah,
right? Crims is like the best Mirage player.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the collector player in the world. So
yeah, that's an obvious pick. That's easy. All right, so. Wow, Taz is super expensive, $3,000. Bucks. Oh my god. All right, so let's go down to the middle again. I think Snacks. We should pick him up. We've got Snacks, especially because he's always racking up a lot of frags on Mirage as well with the position that he plays. He's always kind of guaranteed to be fragging. Yep. So I like the pick of Snacks. But who next? Who next to choose?
I mean, it kind of makes sense to pick Neo. I mean, it's relatively cheap for a player of that caliber. They have 2 games and...
Oh, one thing to bear in mind, actually. Yep. EnVyUS and NaVi already fought 2, so 6 rounds have already been played. So maybe we should avoid that a little bit. Or I guess it depends on the value as well.
It's a hard thing.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard. It's hard to choose. Okay, let's just go right down to the bottom again quickly. Just see. So Xyp9x, Karrigan, because we have Virtus and Dupree is. Oh my god, Dupree is super cheap.
I think you have to pick him.
You kind of have to. They're going to be playing against Virtus.pro and Inferno. How do you feel that that's going to turn out?
I mean, Dupree is a solid. I think the more consistent players on their team, TSM, is probably Cajun, Dupree, and Device. They probably use. Yeah. They always rack up these insane rounds and insane kills. So they're very, very consistent. And for him to be that low, it's kind of like an auto pick. You kind of have to.
All right. Well. Heard the man, producer Reese. Dupree, get him in there. Okay, how much money do we have left?
We should have quite a, like 2.3 for each player in average.
Okay, that's cool, that's cool. So I think we should try to pick up 2 more Fnatic players. I think, sorry, not Fnatic, sorry, Virtus.pro players. I think that just makes a lot of sense. So here you go, we got filtered by team. So
the only 2 players we can, I mean, we can pick again, I guess we could pick Pasha and Neo, or Bialy or Neo. That's the 2 choices we have.
I think I would go with Pasha. I'd probably be leaning towards Pasha, wouldn't you?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. Pasha's usually making a lot of action.
Makes sense to have an AWPer on the team as well. And well, if we're gonna pick up another Virtus.pro players, the only one we can pick is Neo.
Yeah.
So that's.
How do you feel about Neo as a player at the moment anyway? I mean, of course, a guy with loads of history and experience.
He's very mature in the way he plays. He never goes for that extra peak or trying to hunt frags. He's always very, very supportive. He's got then that kind of support role in the team as well. So, I mean, you can't really blame his performance. His performance is never really bad. And he can have those like monstrous games as well. You know, he's gotten like important jobs like on Cash, for example. Sometimes he AWPs on the B side for CT and just holds that position alone. And he's very, very mature. He's usually in those like weird positions where he never really is supposed to get any frags. So he's a smart and good player, and I enjoy watching him play. You know, you can learn a lot about positioning from him. As a defensive player. Yeah,
that's actually a really, really interesting point. Actually, it's maybe something we can talk about more later. But yeah, I think yeah, we have to pick. You know, I mean, Virtus.pro the only team playing twice, so 3 Virtus.pro players makes a lot of sense.
We can talk about before we make a shot caller. Who do you think is going to be like the most valuable player for our team today? Like, who will bring the most value?
Okay, so
increasing value, I guess, is.
It's actually quite cool because Virtus.pro, of course, such a good Mirage team as well. That I mean, it's going to be such an awesome match. I'm kind of leaning towards Pasha, but it's really hard between Pasha and Snacks. Really hard, because Pasha's often top fragging for them. He's often putting out the big numbers, often hitting all the important AWP shots as well. But Snacks also. I don't know, man. Personally, I think Pasha is going to be a more consistent pick here.
I'm going to come here with an unbiased opinion.
Okay, you're going to go Crims? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious? You're going to go for Crims? But he's only playing 1 game.
I'm sorry, guys, but I disagree with all of these picks.
All of these picks?
They're all wrong. All of them.
Yeah, I mean, he's always good on Mirage. He's going to always put off 25, 30 kills from that connector area, and but for me that's just...
Hey man, I can't let you do it. They're only playing once.
Okay, yep. You decide.
You gotta think about
Pasha or Snacks.
Okay, I'm saying Pasha. Let's get in there.
I'm just giving Crims a golden star here.
All right. Okay, I see. You're just keeping up appearances. Yeah. That's fair enough. Okay, so we have selected our team. We selected our shot caller. I think this wasn't too hard. considering that it always makes it a little bit easier when you have a team playing more than other teams. And you're like, okay, well, like, we need to have 3 of these guys. That kind of makes it a bit easier. But I wonder how well we're going to do today. We're actually we have to beat Producer Reese. Producer Reese is actually ahead of us. I think he's 2 wins ahead of us at the moment. He's got 4, and we've got 2, I think, because me and Jackie picked an amazing team last time. But, all right, so we submitted our team, and that's Vulcan.com, of course, FACEIT League, short and sweet. You should go and try it out immediately. But yeah, we do have, of course, our first match being EnVyUS versus NaVi, which is going to be a re-continued. So EnVyUS, NaVi. EnVyUS, everyone is familiar with them. Everyone's familiar with how they play, especially on Inferno. They love Inferno. They've got loads of abusive Tech 9 rounds, you know. Very good, solid team. But what do you think about NaVi now with flamie?
I actually think they've been becoming like increasingly good. Like they have a consistent level of getting better and better. Ever since they started, even like with Starks, they started, you know, to get better. And then when Starks has been a coach, I've seen him in practice games. He's been, you know, with them all the practices, and I think they're really, really like gaining a lot from that. And it's going to be interesting to see, because I don't see like flamie being like put into like the correct role. He hasn't really found his place fully. On some maps he can be insane on that lurker role and kind of be, you know, he can put up like a 30 bomb for them a lot.
He seems like a really good mid-round fragger, actually. Very clutch sometimes, this guy.
Yeah, it seems like the perfect guy for them to actually get in, because they kind of lacked that role before. It was kind of like SmithZz is like a, for me, sometimes like an insane entry fragger at times, and he's kind of been like split into this role when they had Starix, where he was lurking at times and then he was entry fragging. Yeah, so he was kind of split into these roles, and he also called for a while, so it was even more of a split. But yeah, I think it's the perfect fit for their team. They have an AWPer, they have a lurker, and they have those rifles with entry fragging. So they have a really, really patient play, but I think they're mixing things up with Starix coaching as well.
Absolutely. That's the cool thing, isn't it? Because I could tell for a while they wanted to break out away from some of their more kind of well-known plays, very slow stuff, but they didn't quite have the, in some maps, in some aspects, in some situations, they didn't quite have the fragging power to really do it. So you couldn't really blame them for playing in that style. So when we saw flamie come in, it feels really nice. Actually, when you're watching them, it's much more exciting. You get to see them. I mean, the thing is that there was always so much pressure on Guardian to carry every match, which he does with crazy consistency. He's very good at just racking up all the kills and being the star player. But flamie, I actually love how he's going to become this guy. I don't know if I would. Who would you compare him to? If you could, like, if you took EnVyUS, right, and the roles and the types of players that you have on that team, who would flamie be closest to?
Well, Happy is the lurker, but the in-game leader in EnVyUS, so it's like a weird texture. But it's really, really hard, man. But I have to like put him into like maybe the Happy role in that case.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Okay. What about another team? What would be an easier comparison, would you say? Fnatic with Flusher?
Yeah. I mean, that's the lurking role, and Get Right. I mean, I think he's more of an aggressive lurker than.
He does seem that way. Yeah.
Yeah, than maybe Flusher or Get Right, but. Yeah, he can put on those entry frags at times as well, flamie, and he's very, very consistent entering a site if he's not doing the lurking. So, yeah, I would put him in the lurker role at least.
Okay, so player to watch out for on Inferno for NaVi, would you say?
Well, it's got to be Guardian, right?
Okay, it's got to be Guardian. It's got to be Guardian, guys. Okay, so let's talk a bit about EnVyUS. EnVyUS, of course, they've been doing very, very well recently. I mean, the rivalry seems, on LAN at least, to be between EnVyUS and Fnatic now for like who's number one. I mean,
well there's like this triple super rivalry, like triangle of doom with NIP, Fnatic, NiP, Fnatic, NIP and Fnatic, and NIP EnVyUS, EnVyUS Fnatic.
Okay,
so there's like a triangle.
MV, NIP sort of thing.
So it's an interesting thing, you know. I feel EnVyUS probably after Katowice got really disappointed with their results, and it feels like they've really, really stepped up their games the last couple of weeks. So yeah, it just feels like maybe everyone is happy with how they're playing and their roles, and they seem more motivated. You know, shox seems way better than he's probably been in that team for a long time.
You're right.
So,
You're right.
you know, happy consistently being the top performer for quite a while, which is really amazing. You know, he's the in-game leader, and I mean, he's put into a lurker role, which is it's a weird style and it's something you can talk about, but yeah, I don't know really how that works. I think everyone's kind of interested how that works in the game.
I have a lot of respect for him as a player because since he was in the old LDLC where he had, I mean, he's had a lot of different challenges as a player and as a leader because he's taken upon himself to look at the game from both perspectives and to be both things. And we're seeing his ability to do both at the same time in this lineup now. But his ability previously to be so strong strategically as well, when he had a team which had, you know, the tools were worse basically. That was quite amazing to me because he's essentially, because I had the conversation with him where he basically said he's not even really sure if he very much likes how they play at the moment. He's not really sure about it, but it's winning right now. It's doing really well, so there's no reason to really change it. But if they start having some poor results, then he's gonna change things dramatically. Like he's just gonna completely change everything. And I found that very interesting because he's actually the guy that can do that. Because he's done it before, he's done it with different teams. So he's just a very, very interesting kind of player. And like you said, he's kind of unique in the way that he's able to just be so strong.
Yeah.
Like he frags so hard, it's crazy. And he picks up the AWP as well in specific roles on certain maps. He will start AWPing.
I've always thought that was kind of weird that
it was
Happy picks up the AWP and not like shox, for example, who's been like insane with the AWP in the past, like playing for Titan and in all these kind of different compilations, he's always been like that second guy to pick up the AWP whenever he feels like it. So I've always found that to be a bit strange, but I mean, he's doing work with it, so why not?
Exactly. Well, this is the interesting thing about it, because a long time ago when I started making videos and stuff, and this is, I remember doing a video on him on his Mirage when he was with the old, you know, Cali LDLC. Back in the days, like I guess that's like a year ago now. That was a year ago I made that video. And I messaged him and I said, why are you AWPing on Mirage, on short? Why are you going to short and AWPing here? And he said at this time, I just feel like this on this map with these players, it just feels like a good role because he only has to do very specific things. He's not really like being an AWPer. He's just sitting in one spot doing a specific job with that weapon. Like he's not really like moving around a lot. Because yesterday we were talking about how important it is for AWPers to move around, and like how it creates so much threat, allows your riflers more freedom, all this kind of stuff. It's none of that. It's just he wanted to sit there because he felt like in that setup, it's a very easy job that he could insert himself into around his players, and that would allow another player to get more out of that other player. So he's just being very adaptable, and it seems like usually that's when he'll pick up an AWP. Is that it's just for I'm guarding this angle, and then that's it. Yeah. So, but he's damn good at it. So.
Yeah, I mean, he seems good in pretty much everything he does. So, clutching, calling, lurking, whatever. Seems like it's working for him.
Yeah. So to calm down like the happy fan club that we got going.
Well,
I mean,
it's an interesting topic because
it's
true. I think it's the first player, at least I've seen on the top level, that's actually using a different role than other in-game leaders. So it's definitely an interesting topic to talk about.
Absolutely. But I do want to get your thoughts on something, as it's still very relevant, which is, of course, we recently had the update. I think we're post 1 week the update now, more or less. I think it happened on Monday last week. So, yeah, I guess we would be about 1 week into the update. And Valve, instead of taking a conservative approach, so usually, right, the way this will go is the developer will be like, okay, we want to maintain the integrity of the competition. We don't want there to be much variance in results. We'll just change this one thing and see how things go. We'll just sit back and just see how things happen. But instead, they're like, oh, let's just change everything. Let's change loads of things. So impacting the economy, impacting the way AWPers play, impacting just generally just a lot of the structure of rounds and how they go and stuff. So what is your opinion on the update? Is there something that you think is outrageous? Is there something you think is good? What's your general opinions here?
Well, in general, I think the AWP probably was a bit overpowered. You can talk about overpowered and balance and all these kind of things in Counter-Strike when it's kind of weird because both teams have the exact same ability to utilize them. So it's in a weird sense talking about balance, but compared to the pricing and all that and what you get from it, it was quite hard to actually meet a good AWPer. We can take the example of Kenny S, who could just win games by himself, but a rifler could never really do that, you know, in that sense. But I still think the AWP should be very, very powerful. It's obviously a very expensive weapon. You don't get much like kill reward from it. So I think the actual movement change from that doesn't really affect that AWPers that much. I think they could probably, maybe it was a bit harsh on the movement while scoping in, because some AWPing styles is just really, really hard. I know like Chris J, for example, he likes to always have his scope in while he moves around, while players like JW doesn't really actually have his scope in
I noticed that,
at all when he moves around. He just jumps around with
like
no scopes and then shoots.
Yeah.
So for him, the update didn't really affect him much, but I can see it being a huge problem for some. You know, I think somewhere in between where it was and where it's now is something where you want to land with the AWP. As for like the Tech 9, and I think the most like weirdest thing was probably SMGs. They're like disgustingly good right now.
I saw a guy yesterday do like an ace with a Mac 10, and like he was popping heads, like you know, like top mid on the Mirage, and people were like in the window, and he's just tapping them and just headshotting them. And I was like, what? This is
I went
insane.
into a death match like 2 days ago and just had like 2 KD with like an MP7 just running around shooting people and bursting them. Like
that's the best deathmatch weapon.
What?
That seems like the best deathmatch weapon because you don't have to stop moving; you just keep running around.
It's ridiculous. Plus, I mean, the ammo refills when you kill someone. So it's like you're constantly holding it like mouse 1 in. So it was quite fun, but it seems a bit overpowered, you know.
So, I mean, for me, one of the issues with this, when I'm looking at changes and stuff, because it's okay, I feel like changes can be okay if it, like, you know, if it really changes the game a lot, I feel like, okay, whatever. So long as, for me, there's 2 things that are still happening. So, firstly, we make sure that we maintain the integrity of the game as like a really high skill, like competitive esport. And then, secondly, I guess it's kind of a similar point, is that we always have like a big skill ceiling. Like the gameplay is always very skilled. And with the AWP change, I can be like, well, you know what, this does kind of suck. It's very different. But in reality,
it actually, in some case, might even higher.
Exactly. That's the thing that I'm getting at. Exactly. So at this, I'm kind of like, let's see how this goes. Let's see what Kenny S can do. Because that's really what's exciting about any sport or any elite player, is that they're able to do things that other people can't do. That's why it's cool. And for the same reason, this is why I'm kind of like, about the SMGs and the Tech 9 change, which is not really a nerf, because actually this encourages gameplay that's actually has a very low skill ceiling. Because as you said, running around and holding down mouse 1.
Well, I could see a second round by being a force buy with SMGs nowadays.
Exactly. Yeah.
Full nades and whatever.
Dropping for your teammates and everything. Like one guy gets Kevlar, throw the other guy SMG.
But it just looks so ridiculous, you know, dropping Mac 10s to have a full buy round and actually challenging like M4s and AWPs. In theory, it also sounds ridiculous in a way with the way we're used to looking at Counter-Strike. But I think the general idea with buffing the SMGs wasn't actually for like casual gamers, I guess. It's actually like a very, very powerful way to stop the Tech 9 rushes as terrorists. Because instead of you actually having to be still and the Tech 9 moving against you, it kind of eliminates that moving presence from the Tech 9, so both can.
But I still have a problem with this, though. I still have a problem with this, Devilwalk. I'm sorry, but
yeah, I do have a problem with it as well. But
it's like everyone's running around.
I can
see Quake? We're playing Quake now. I
can see the reasoning why it's happened.
Yeah.
And if it's gonna stay or not, I don't know. We'll see about that.
Yeah. I just for me, the kind of when I'm looking at people running around with the Tech 9s, because the thing with Tech 9s is it's not even really all that. It's kind of accurate. You can't really aim it, so you just spam it in the middle of someone's torso, and that's the way that every single player uses the gun. So Olafmeister versus some guy in DMG probably looks really similar because they're both. There's no technique involved. You just have to be able to hold the crosshair on the guy. So you have this gameplay that's like it's a comeback mechanic. It's like we've gone back to Mario Kart. We're playing Mario Kart right now, Devilwalk.
Mario Kart is very competitive.
But the comeback mechanics is something I think that in this way, I think we already have a decent comeback mechanic in that we have the bonus money and stuff like this. Like a team will always be able to buy. They'll always be able to break the economy. That's one of the most beautiful things about Counter-Strike. It's a kind of like a comeback mechanic that's really exciting, and it's not just like, well, I'm behind you, here's this item, and now you're ahead again, which it feels like the Tech9 has been, and we're seeing the EnVyUS.
Are you talking about the lightning in Mario Kart right now?
What's the thing, like you shoot it and you just like jump in front?
I have no idea what
you
you're
just like
talking
shoot a
about.
rocket at them. I never really played Mario Kart, but I saw this and I was like, I'm never gonna play Mario Kart because of this.
You've never played Mario Kart?
I have I played Mario Kart on N64, but it was a very long time ago.
So if you're like last place, you can get the lightning, which makes everyone smaller in Mario Kart. Do you recognize that?
Oh my god, yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure you do.
But also you can shoot them and they'll just stop.
Yeah.
Just take over them, even though you're behind. So you get rewarded for being behind. How great is that?
This guy.
Hey, at least I don't stare at seats.
Dude, staring at seats is amazing.
What do you see in the seats? I'm not convinced that that's all that's going on here.
What do you think is going on?
I don't know, some other things. Just staring at seats. It's not very entertaining to stare at seats. You at least must have we're talking about a conversation we had yesterday when we were doing, of course, Oceania. So we're talking about Australia and stuff, and he'd recently been there. So it turns out that when he goes on planes, he doesn't. Maybe listens to music. But
no, I always listen to music.
Okay.
And then I just do nothing. I just listen to the music, and then I stare at the seat in front of me.
For like 24 hours.
Well, I obviously sleep in a 24-hour period, but usually when I travel, I just listen to music and do nothing else.
What kind of music do you like to listen to when traveling to Australia?
Usually it's very acoustic and mostly based out of rock, but I do enjoy some hip-hop and usually older music, older types of music.
Okay, all right.
So from the 50s to 90s.
All right, well, maybe is there a Spotify playlist there?
Yeah.
Made by Devilwook. You can share that on Twitter. Well, you can share that on Twitter.
It's called Ultimate Playlist of Doom 2014.
Nice. But it's out of date.
Yeah. I have to update it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so Devilwook will tweet that later on if you're interested in his musical tastes. But back to the Tech9 bashing.
Yep.
What else can we say about Tech9? Because those nerfs didn't affect the way that the gameplay of the Tech9 is at all. It didn't affect it.
I'm actually going to say that people are probably going to stop with the second round buy from now on because the SMGs are too powerful. So people are going to go for I think the meta game is going to change where people go for a third round buy with AKs and armor against a rebuying CT squad who first buys SMGs and then buys M4s to replace them so they don't get as much money. And that's how I see it working out. But
as long as there's options then that you can choose between, that's good. Because the problem with the Tech9 before was that, and before the SMG buff and everything, is that you only have one option because they're so cost efficient and they're so clearly better. It's the same thing with the old CZ, is that it was so good. You have to do it. You have to buy it. There's just there's no decision making there. One team, because in 1.6 you could have the Deagle was quite a high skill weapon. You can have teams which would sit there and be like, hey, we have really good aimers. We can have this stylistic choice of having this round that we drilled with Deagles. We can have this deco, and there's some teams that are very good at that and very good at the pressure style. Whereas there's some teams that are better at the playing the more economic game, just trying to have those buy rounds and stuff. So that was a lot of choices going on, and you have like real risks. But the Tech9 it feels like, well, we just
let's do that.
Yeah. So,
but I see Tech9 not being as effective. Obviously, in like forced buy to equalize money and so on, I'll see it still being used, but not in the same sense it's been right now, where every T round, like second round, is going to be Tech9 armor, rushing A or B. I don't see that being the case anymore with the SMG buff.
I hope so, because that's not good to watch. I think.
I mean, it can be very exciting, but
yeah. Well. The one thing, if the Tech9 and the CZ never existed, I wonder if we would have seen some really sick, like, Deagle type rounds and like maybe some specific players who would be like really sick Deagle players. Because I know the Deagle is somewhat inconsistent. Like, you can't really be reliable with it like you could be in 1.6 and in Source, but maybe it could have happened because it's still really good. There's lots of damage. I mean, if you go for the body shots from like a mid range, you can take someone down pretty fast, and you can get the shots at long range, the 1Ds and stuff. So Could have been a thing, maybe.
I mean, there's still a couple of Deagle players, I would say, like
Yeah.
Freiburg. You have Guardian, who's
Flamie's
very
really good with Deagle too.
I haven't actually caught that, but I'll trust your word on that.
Yeah.
But the ones that pop up in my head is Guardian and Freiburg, probably.
All right. Okay, well, guys, we'll take a quick little break whilst we sort out this problem that is getting these teams on the server. So please bear with us. We'll be right back with the first match here for FACEIT League Europe.
Yes, you're very quite tough, always having bad luck. You think you're going crazy? Look up, there's a new life waiting. Your head's buried in the sand. You've been dealt the wrong hand. Can't imagine how you feel. Only you know that it's real. Don't look back, just carry on, carry on, carry on. Don't look back, just carry on, carry on, carry on. Because you are stronger. Yes, you are stronger. Because you are stronger. Yes, you are stronger. Yes, you've had it quite tough, always having bad luck. You think you're going crazy? Look up, there's a new life waiting. Your head's buried in the sand. You've been dealt the wrong hand. Can't imagine how you feel. Only you know that it's real. Don't look back, just carry on, carry on, carry on. Don't look back, just carry on, carry on, carry on. Because you are stronger. Yes, you are stronger. Because you are stronger.
Welcome back, guys. All right, that took a while, but we are going to go live into the match with EnVyUS and NaVi on Inferno. So let's just jump on into this one. These guys are raring to go. I'm here with Devilwalk, of course, if you just joined us.
Yep. We're excited to finally get to see
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. That's no, the other one. The other one, you're good. All right, so whilst Devilwalk turns his mic on, we are going to be jumping into the match. We have ourselves an excellent game. EnVyUS versus NaVi on Inferno. Here for the basic European League. So as you guys can see, got some warming up going on, but now it's to end. All the one presented. We're going to get into the match.
Can you hear me
Finally.
now? Yes. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that.
Welcome back to the mic.
Yep, I dropped my mic before and now I didn't turn it on. Perfect. Professional caster, obviously.
We'll make it professional of you yet then.
Yes.
It's fine.
I'm
It's all
teaching.
good.
I'm getting taught by Dan here in the studios. Terrible teacher, I must say.
And then corrected by James, who's also now here as well, come back from Glasgow, so it's all good. Okay, so we're going to have EnVyUS starting off on CT, and NaVi starting off on the T side. And for some reason, they want to go for a pause again. I love delays, don't you?
Troll party.
I like your CSGO pin, by the way.
Yeah, I got it from Valve.
Well, Valve just straight up sent it to you.
No, they give every player and coach and manager, I guess, these pins for each major. I have one
specifically this one?
Yeah, this is specifically the Katowice one.
Ah, nice. Nice. We'll have to do a close-up of that later on. Get a close-up of your pins, or your pin, whilst we wait for this one to start. Okay, so what is your prediction on this one? Are you gonna go out there and make one? We can see, of course, EnVyUS are going to start on CT. Yeah,
I mean, EnVyUS is really hard to. They actually go for very early aggression on banana, so you cannot go for that like fast contact banana. They always counter it with fast flashes and stuff. So I'm seeing NaVi having to play a slow game. I think it actually NaVi's style suits EnVyUS quite a bit. And with EnVyUS recent form, I actually think EnVyUS should be able to take this game. It's Inferno. They are super strong on this map. So I'm thinking like 16-10 EnVyUS, something like that.
I still think their really broken mid-smoke Tech 9 rush strategy will actually still work very effectively, even against SMGs on this map. I would look forward to seeing them try that out, but we are into the pistol now. So we have already NaVi looking for that little bit of banana control and potentially a kill as well. But EnVyUS, they're falling back, they're letting NaVi have banana for now, as we see.
What's interesting is they're actually not having that many grenades on the CT side. They have like one smoke, 2 flashes, and 1 Molotov. And we'll see. It seems like maybe they know that NaVi's gonna play slow anyway, so they're kind of just not opting for the grenades.
It is possible, but I'm worried about these dualies from NBK. Dualies never work. I know Get Right and NBK have been trying to make them work for a long time. But we'll have to see how good it actually goes right now, because they are going to get the push coming in. So here we go. Happy and NBK against this NaVi push straight into the B bomb site. Straight away, we're going to see movement from Paul into the bomb site, and they're going to clean house here. 3 fast kills from them as they get the bomb down. And EnVyUS can't really do all that much at this point, surely.
I actually have no idea what the actual plan with that baiting was, because it's a weird bait in the case of NBK is trying to bait them to look at him, but in the same angle, Happy is actually like in. If they kill NBK, they're gonna see Happy instantly afterwards. So they were this like baiting tactic on B side didn't actually work, and for me it makes no sense to actually do it that way around.
And they're actually going to go for a full buy up here of all that they can. Pistol armor on everybody. kioShiMa could even afford a helmets. 5.7s, P250s. So EnVyUS looking to put the pressure back onto NaVi, who have actually bought up rifles. They got 2 Khalils, 2 AKs, and a Mac 10. So, sorry, MP7. And so this is going to be quite interesting to see how this actually goes. How do you feel about this buy up from Envy?
Well, I mean, NaVi doesn't really have.
All right, so, well, we're going to have the push slowly making its way in now, as they're all positioned up on middle, and we will have flamie with that MP7 whiteout, looking for the man on quad. We have shoxy there in window as well. There it is, just finding shoxy, as the rest of his teammates push up arch side now. C is picking up kioShiMa, as we have a very nice take of this A bomb site away from EnVyUS, who were pistol armoring, but now they're going to fall back, keep the pistol armor alive for the next full save round, and see what they can accomplish there, because there's nothing much else they can do here. Although Happy is getting 2 fast kills, as we'll have Happy now with that AK-47. So at this point, having lost 2 men, it might not necessarily be in NaVi's interest to go for the hunt here and just try to instead just keep themselves alive into the next round and just make sure they don't compound their losses. Or compound their mistakes, rather. So NaVi going to be on a 2nd round here. EnVyUS going to be on that full save, but at least they have Happy with that AK-47. So that is something at the very least.
Now I'm back after some technical issues.
Nice. Always problems with you, Devil. All these problems.
No.
You're just full of problems. Okay, so this is quite interesting here because EnVyUS, they saved this AK onto Happy. He has a bunch of nades as well. And the rest of them on a full saves. Now, whereas is Happy going to just play the normal setup on B? Looks like he will. So, well, I guess this is one of those situations where if they go A, then he can just save it.
Yeah.
Basically.
And we see kind of like a stack here. We see shox trying to gather some information here on the balcony and trying to get some picks, but they're playing very, very methodically here, NaVi. shox actually gets that pick, and this could actually make NaVi be very, very worried about that map control in the apartments and kind of split up. We see the rotation from EnVy actually coming in here on the A side.
So Edouard going to be opening things up with the Mac 10, so things going quite well so far. And better still as all the players for EnVyUS are going to go down, as once again NaVi find themselves finishing on this A bomb site quite successfully, and NBK might as well go and die at this point. Just the PT-50 in hand, so might as well try and do some damage. But NaVi, you know, they're going to be wise to this. They're going to be able to set up trades and make sure that they are safe against that Mac 10 of NBK. You're going to be worried about these Mac 10s too. These things are actually quite scary in these days.
Very, very dangerous. I mean, just 2 fast dings and you're down, basically. And, you know, with the fast fire rate of a Mac 10 and SMG normally, I mean, you go down really, really fast.
Okay, so NaVi with this excellent start. EnVyUS are going to be able to afford a buy now, and we're going to start to see how they are going to opt to play this. Obviously, they won't be able to get the AWP out straight away unless they are... Nope, they can't even glass cannon it. No one's got enough cash for that. So we're going to see an EnVyUS with probably a lack of grenades here and a lack of decent weapons. So NaVi have a really good spot to actually start taking really big momentum here.
NBK is actually staying with the Mac 10. He has money to buy a M4, but he actually opts to stay with it.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Because kioShiMa is there with an M4 and no money for any nades as well, so... Yeah, perhaps...
he could potentially have dropped the weapon to his teammate and still stuck with a... Which makes more sense.
Okay, we have apartments being taken over by NaVi. Flamie and Edouard in there. But this is a good setup here from EnVyUS. I like this 3-man setup here towards quad. Got the man up on quad roof, got SmithZz down below as well. As NaVi are still just playing very tentatively, just playing it really slow as you would expect, but in comes the flash, and now they go in for the push. No real smokes going on here, and there is just full peeking from all the players, and who is going to get the best out of this? It looks like NaVi are down a man in comparison to EnVyUS here, who are standing on 4 members still alive.
And EnVyUS still had 3 men on this bomb site. Okay. Oh, perfect flash, and Happy actually goes and peeks middle on that flash. They have the bomb on long, and Edouard shouldn't be able to clutch this. It's already been spotted. There he goes down. Great teamwork from EnVy. I like how they rotated an extra player to A and actually put aggression on middle instead of playing it very, very defensively in the site. Let NaVi take over middle, etc. So they played it aggressive, and then they changed up their aggression from short. They rotated a lot of people towards the long area. Flash for Happy. He goes forward, gets a couple of kills, and the one is basically won. Sorry for my English.
Well, the interesting thing for me was the lack of grenades as well from NaVi. They kind of wanted to just move up and take the Angels, and we could see that EnVyUS with that particular setup, that was pretty perfect for them. And I like the Molotov there, just keeping players away, and of course, it makes it so you can kind of peek out as well without, and maybe take a pick and and they can't easily rush for the trade because the fire's there, and that's something we see AWPers use sometimes. In fact, I see Guardian doing that on the CT side sometimes. But NaVi with a very slow pace, as per usual, sitting in middle. There's no banana control for them at all, but EnVyUS have decided not to have banana control as well. Push will come in.
Push comes in there to middle. See if the rotation actually... I'm not sure if actually NaVi wants to go and move forwards towards the A sides. They just want that middle control, and they want that banana control. And then they kind of decide what to do. It's easy to play with no information on the map.
It's really nice that they got seized up on the banana now, so that they know that that's an option for them. SmithZz will shut down Zeus, and they are really locking down middle. Look at this amazing display from kioShiMa. That is a few very important frags for EnVyUS there to hold NaVi at bay. As flamie now is going to make his way back with his teammates seized. And they're going to go for the save here because there's not much else they can do in this round. But once again, you know, EnVyUS's ability or confidence to challenge middle, even delayed in that sense, because NaVi kind of had already taken it. They re-challenged it. That's really awesome from them.
Yeah, I guess that's... I mean, it was really, really smart from EnVyUS to regain... They were in a position where they didn't know if it was B, they didn't know if it was A, and EnVyUS just recently smoked up on the B site, so they can really push through their own smoke. So they decided to take the information in middle. They flash up middle and go for a very, very aggressive peek together, and it worked out. They got the information, everyone was there, they got a couple of frags, and NaVi eventually, they didn't get enough trades, so they decided to save.
Okay, so a little pop flash there for NBK.
Usually
to get peek.
Very, very good timing for doing those information gatherings is around 40 or 50 seconds, depending on what team you're playing, but that's usually when a normal team does executions. You can do it a bit later, I guess, against NaVi, who's quite known for having delayed executions on site.
Very good point, actually. Yeah, yeah. We've seen rounds completely just fall apart when for example, NBK does find two guys with nades in their hands in that spot. Yeah, it's a really nice point. We'll have to see if kioShiMa's going to be able to lock this down. He's been doing so well on quad. Move back towards the blue truck at the moment, and NaVi are slowly making their way up towards arch side, where there will be SmithZz to greet them, but the smoke is covering quite well. No orb there for SmithZz either, which is actually going to benefit him in this situation. But in comes the Tech-9. Edouard going to butcher him as we have kioShiMa falling back towards that pit. There's two players here for EnVyUS. He's got help with shoxy, and they're going to take one apiece. flamie and Guardian now left over for NaVi, as a nade is going to eliminate his Guardian. And it's all on flamie. Just
perfect play from that pit position. I mean, NaVi couldn't really do anything. They got the extra kill. Edouard pushed through the smokes and kind of surprised SmithZz, but they're kind of like in aiming duels everywhere. Didn't really push for any map control once they actually got the first kill there. They kind of need to overwhelm that pit area, and once EnVy actually got that first two picks, you know, the push was all over. They didn't have any smokes to smoke them off. They've already used everything else to take over middle. So they're doing this very, very smart and changing their play up, because I think NaVi kind of expect them to push them in a certain moment now for information, and this time they just stayed in probably the two best positions on the map, whereas both pit areas, like with the car and what we call in Swedish dildo.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
That position, I don't know what it's called.
I think the Danes call that as well. Call it that as well. This position here, yeah, basically, as you may have been able to.
What do you call it in English?
I actually don't know what. I have to get back to it. Someone tweeted to Devil what that position is called. But the push from NaVi is going to be eliminated pretty easily. That's a good point. I swear I had a call for that, but I don't remember what it was. Okay, we'll have to get people tweeting.
Yeah,
tweeting you.
And EnVyUS after the pistol have just been rock solid.
Absolutely. The thing that's interesting as well is that they're not AWPing on SmithZz at all. Like he has made a conscious decision at this point, and in the past as well, because they could have picked AWPs up for him also to just stick on the rifles, and so far that's been quite comfortable for him. And I'm not sure if how much SmithZz feels like the AWP change has affected his playstyle here, but this is a map where I would feel like it at least makes it harder to pick as Ts into the angles with an ult, because we see lots of scoping and moving on the angles in this map for entries, and of course that's going to be nerfed a little bit. So
yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, SmithZz could be, you know, the kind of guy that just feels like, no, I need more time to practice this. So I'm more consistent with the rifle at the moment. So I'll use that until I'm in better shape with the ult.
Yeah, that's a nice way to look at it, actually. We are going to see EnVyUS with 4 players on A at the moment. They have floated Happy all the way through Speedway onto Arch side, and he's going to be able to play with SmithZz there, as NaVi try to get themselves some damage done.
This is when they're going for the information. Kio knows they're pushing up middle. Their rotation should be able to come in.
Nice poke there from SmithZz, though, just at the right moment. Going to catch off flamie just in time as now Guardian Moot makes his way in. Good entry there onto shox. He gets the second one. SmithZz goes down as well. Bomb is going to be planted. 2 on 2 now, thanks to Guardian. And it's Happy and NBK. The B players come on in to try to challenge this bomb situation. Now, on the site, going to be taking down Happy again. In comes NBK. Finally, ending his reign of terror, only to be taken down by SmithZz for NaVi to win the round and even things up a little bit. And the money on EnVyUS is really nice at the moment. They've been very cost efficient so far.
I thought that Envy would actually win that round. They had everything working for them. They had shox in a position where, I mean, he could have played so much more for time than he did there. They had like 18 seconds on the clock, pushing up short. If he just hides in pit, make them actually hunt him, they shouldn't be able to get the bomb plant in unless they go in very, very awkward side plant, which is obviously favorable in an after plant situation for the CP going to for the retake there. So I think actually shox made a mistake there. They got the information the A push was coming, but didn't play for time enough there.
I like how we saw SmithZz there playing Banana quite well, actually reading the situation perfectly, but still just not hitting the shot, which is what it's always going to come down to, and this is going to create some early advantages here for EnVyUS. Edouard's super low as well. EnVyUS have been doing so well with these flashes, these timings, but in comes Zeus. Nice entry to NBK. Might just give NaVi a chance in this round to make things all better again. We have a 3-on-3 and Happy to make his way in. First man for EnVyUS into the retake situation. Going to be met with a smoke. Smoke's all over the place here for NaVi. Oh, Guardian gets himself another frag. Guardian stepping up for his team as you'd expect. And just trying to chill right now. He's got his teammates to play with, and they are using the bomb timer to their advantage. Here are the peaks coming in. Edouard with that flank, very key stuff, and Happy can't do a single thing. Guardian with another kill, and they make it happen. What a save there! Just down to 3 men, 3v5. They pull it off.
Yeah, I think they actually kind of managed to figure out that EnVyUS very, very early on put a fast rotation towards A with all the smokes they've been putting through. So they actually flashed through the smoke and challenged NBK instantly, which is a great, great call from NaVi. You know, even in that position, they actually managed to turn it around and make it a winnable round. So just great, great read from NaVi.
And now we have that push through apartments. Looks like they want to go for a really fast play straight through, just walking until the end to just not give any clues as to what's going on. In they are, though, but the trade's coming in. And we are going to have a 3-on-3 now as we see the frags coming in the way of NaVi for that bomb plant to go down on the site. Seized up in the apartments is going to be very helpful.
They have great positions here, NaVi. And they picked down NBK. That was so important. I'm happy with only an AWP to retake with. This is not going to be possible. Decides to save, run away, and hopefully be able to use it the next round.
That's 2 in a row now for NaVi. As Happy picks up another kill there. Now, I think EnVyUS will have enough to buy. They're going to be on 1900s after losing this one. So let's, if we have a quick tab here, check their current money. Oh, okay, no, they are. They're completely depleted here. So yeah, there goes the money in there, extra 1900, and we are going to see a save. But with Happy's AWP, now NaVi know that he's saved an AWP. So what is NaVi's approach here?
Well, I still feel like they should play like they're probably used to playing. There's no need to do anything rational and, you know, try for a fast push. They usually play a very methodical style, so they don't give AWPers that much room for aggressions. Now we see Happy is going here with the AWP very, very close down here in apartments.
They must have had the scope as well.
But you can still see how patiently NaVi players are, and not. There we go. Caster's Curse, Guardian steps forward, goes down to Happy.
That was really nice. I mean, Guardian knew that he was there. He had to have heard the scope. He had to have heard it. But still, couldn't be quicker than Happy in that situation. So, early advantage, and they are going to potentially be able to claim the weapon that was dropped too. So,
yep. See if actually Happy might be able to smoke off B apartments before they push in. No, doesn't seem that way. SmithZz and Zeus, two other NaVi members pushing forward. Zeus gets the first one.
Ooh, NBK getting a nice engagement. Doesn't pick up the kill, gets enough time for the reload. Does get the quick shot onto Zeus. Has some bullets left. Another tag coming in. NBK with 2 fast kills. They are sandwiching them right now, but Flamie and SmithZz coming back with 3 frags of their own to put things into a 1-on-1 now as kioShiMa is able to make an excellent situation. He got the wall bang and everything. SmithZz goes down. What a save there from kioShiMa. What an opening from Happy. And what a chaotic round. Overall.
I mean, even though, you know, that was a great clutch from kioShiMa, I mean, the way NBK stayed alive in that side, picking up 2 frags with a CZ from that, I mean, that shouldn't be happening to NaVi when they push into the site. They should be able to nade the 3 boxes, because that's the most dangerous position on the B side. They should always have a Molotov or grenades to actually nade them out.
Even had time to reload and everything.
Yeah, I mean, you see how dangerous that position is. And you need to block that off, even if it's with a smoke, so he cannot like stray through the angles and pick you off.
Okay, so NaVi going to make their way up Banana slowly with their Tech 9s. Edouard has an AK-47, so likely going to see him not in the front. I'm going to send those Tech 9s in first, and EnVyUS are going to have to be so spot on with their shots, as these Tech 9s are going to be rushing in. They are readying the grenades. NaVi waiting to go in. There's the re-smoke. I don't think NaVi really care about these smokes being put down from EnVyUS with those Tech 9s in hand. And EnVyUS are playing an incredibly passive setup on both bomb sites. They are giving up information completely. Not playing for it at all as we would usually expect them to. And this might just be the thing that helps NaVi, as now their push is going to come in. The rotation will be a little bit slow, and they are getting flashed. Can they pick up the kills here with these Tech 9s? NBK spraying down SmithZz. Flamie making his way around the side, but he's only got a Glock. Can they pull this one off? Edward's still alive with the AK-47, as we have Flamie going into the back of the site to clear out all those positions, and the bomb goes down. Now Flamie's going to go down as well, and Zeus, not much he can do surely. He's going to move through the smoke with that Tech 9, but he's going to get eliminated. So good effort though. But
yeah, still a great round. They got a bomb plant, they get the money, they get a kill in NBK. Couldn't even have gotten into a much worse situation for EnVyUS. Great retake. They were very patient on that retake. NBK not overstepping, and they just kind of got the picks there eventually, and just kind of fired them down bit by bit as they entered the site. So great retake, but still solid effort from NaVi, as you said.
That's definitely a really good point about NBK's just staying alive for so long. Really crucial. Now, once again, we're going to have a bit of a challenge from NaVi up Banana. They've been putting more pressure on Banana lately than they were at the start of their T-half, when they would often just try to take middle as their priority. And the bomb is over towards Banana as well at the moment, so they might want to drop that one. So here we go, kioShiMa. He's really good on this position at the moment.
Let's see what NaVi actually does. They kind of want to force the 4th rotation here, coming in from Envy to A site, and maybe go for a quick peek here to B for the smoke. Seems like they're pushing into B. kioShiMa is actually doing great work, but NBK goes down instantly when they enter the site. Happy pushing through.
Oh no, Happy with a huge misplay there. Could have got the frag and had himself safely in Banana to keep that pressure on, but he goes down for not for free, but it's a 3-on-3 now, as we have EnVyUS making their way fast through construction. SmithZz at the back of the site. Zeus going towards Banana, and shoxy just sniping away Guardian with that AK-47 in his hands at the moment. Seized needs a big result here as his teammate Zeus goes down, picks up shoxy, just kioShiMa now to deal with, but no easy task. But the spray comes in and Seized will take the round. Good play there from him, and NaVi gets 7 on the board, which is very nice indeed. And EnVyUS, they have just enough to get a buy-in, but it's pretty weak. So, big pop of pump there for NBK as we draw nearer and nearer to the end of the first half. Flamie opting to get a Mach 10 actually. We'll have to see now if NaVi can break Banana here. NBK is looking for that that quick headshot, that quick kill, that quick buckshot, but it's not going to be happening just yet. NaVi being very, very careful. Now, EnVyUS have shown in a few rounds that they have a tendency to go for the pop flash info, where NBK can peek and see what's going on, maybe get some frags, but I think that's what NaVi are looking for there. So, once again, the 3-man setup on quad here from EnVyUS. Now, this has been very strong in the past. Every round they've played this, they've taken decisively, but NaVi, after actually just going up middle a little bit, deciding to fall back onto Banana once again, and Happy hasn't yet fully rotated. He's just staying towards B, which is good. But EnVyUS, they need some information. There's 40 seconds left now. Perhaps playing against NaVi's typical starters. We're going to see the push coming into the B bomb site right now. Edouard picks up the rotating SmithZz, and kioShiMa does take him down, but the bomb site is taken by NaVi. They're going to get that bomb planted, and it's going to all be down to shoxy and kioShiMa now as they come in on the rotation. And there is already Zeus, the first obstacle here on Banana for kioShiMa to try to overcome. As we all have a very nice setup here. Look at this, just all over the bomb site. Guardian will get the last kill, and 8 rounds there for NaVi, and EnVyUS are now broke, moving into the last round of the first half.
Yeah, we saw a very, they had like a 3-man setup on that short, and that kind of made NaVi, their B strat, so much more efficient, because the rotation was never going to come in for them. They would get their bomb plant, they would get the after plant positions for safe, and going for a retake when the Ts have had time to actually pick their positions, it's going to be really tough for EnVyUS, and obviously NaVi, they got the win that round. And
they're adjusting this round by stacking towards B, but NaVi, I mean, their pushes are becoming in so late, as you would expect, around the 30-40 second mark, when they really show their commitment to a play. That EnVyUS aren't going to find any action anytime soon. As NaVi, they are likely to be reading the money quite well. They should realize exactly what EnVyUS are playing with at the moment.
See stacking here from EnVyUS. They're taking a gamble, and seems like NaVi is actually doing the perfect play to counter this.
Happy will be found by Flamie, and by seeing Happy towards the A site, it might give them some clues as to what's happened. They're going to see that it was indeed a stack, and this is the moment of horror for EnVyUS, having to rotate, but not just that. They have to win this retake. shoxy's going to start things off well, though. He's going to just be awarded with an AK-47 after taking down Edouard.
They have so good positions, and the weaponry isn't enough for EnVyUS. Guardian picks up NBK. Smoked off in a weird position here. He spots actually Keo.
And going to be looking for that frag on a Guardian, but he will take it down 9-6. And NaVi looking quite strong at the moment. But I have to say that I feel like EnVyUS's T-sides are very scary themselves as well on this map, especially some of their Tech 9 rounds. And we saw it at the Star Series finals against NIP, and I don't see a reason why they wouldn't still be using it into this match as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually really impressed by NaVi's T-side. I mean, it's even a bit faster than they usually do it. I mean, we've not seen those crazy 4 seconds left bomb plants entering a site so late. I mean, it's just that it seems like they have checked out Envy, and they have full control on how they play. They figured out the rotation pattern after 4 lost rounds, and that includes ecos in those rounds. So, I mean, that's really impressive. They hit that B side hard after that, and then they eventually came back to the A side.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there from NaVi. And NaVi is a team which they could really be jumping up the ranks now as they get more and more used to flamie. I mean, we can already see how strong they are across the board. The thing is with NaVi is that already, even with StarX, even though StarX was kind of like, his heart wasn't really in it, and he didn't have the, close to the strength that flamie does, and the passion that flamie does right now, they were still pulling out pretty crazy results. They were still having deep runs. They were still consistently taking maps against the best teams in the world. So now that we see potentially full strength NaVi, a NaVi that everyone's on the same page.
Yeah,
that's super strong.
Yeah, I mean they've been improving on a consistent level throughout, and I've never really seen them as like that super strong Inferno team, but it's, I mean, getting 9 rounds against Envy's CT side in Inferno, that's pretty impressive. Like that's.
Yeah, they did win the pistol, to be fair, but still.
It's still really, really good. It's, I mean, they have a huge chance of actually like picking up this pistol, and they kind of shut the match down. Obviously, Envy still has a lot of firepower and could probably work out if any team could work out a comeback, it's them, right? So it's going to be interesting to see here. See, actually, if we look at the minimap, this seems like the major counter to what NaVi's doing, but flashes go in. And it seems like they're pushing through the smokes there. flamie defending, gets one.
Wow. 2 frags out of that flamie. Not too bad indeed, as his teammates will come in to try to help the situation. But EnVyUS looking very strong at the moment, picking up the bomb plants as Guardian will rotate through construction to try to find his way onto some damage here. Happy is going to control Banana though for his team, so nothing to worry about. EnVyUS locking it down on all sides, and that is the pistol victory for them. So they might just be swinging things back quite quickly now as they put NaVi into the same situation. NaVi put them on the first half.
We see here Envy actually opting for a lot more of
quadruple Mac 10.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Quadruple Mac 10, but I actually think that's a solid decision.
Yeah.
They get the full armor, they get a couple of more nades, and you know how you can switch up and actually clear a site, like the actual speed of it, is so effective against these ecos. Because usually the problem with ecos and the stacking is you'll have one guy like kind of peeking you, and you have to stand still to aim, and then you kind of move forward one step, and another guy comes forward from another angle, and you kind of have to move your sight, and it becomes the stutter state until you actually get the control over the site. But that isn't actually a problem with the Mac 10s. You just run and clear things.
Run and gun, baby. Run and gun all the way. And we're going to see shoxy doing just that. And NBK and Happy and all of them as they take down these NaVi players. And they make that bank.
Yeah, so. And they went into a stack. Remember that. They lost 1 Mac 10 going into a stack.
Cost efficient.
Yeah. That's pretty... And that was like a force buy from NaVi.
And shoxy rebought his Mac 10.
Yeah.
So I'm going to rebuy this. Only costs like, what, 1100? Let's do it.
I think it's even cheaper. It's like 1,050.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was 1100. Oh my god. That's cheap as chips. Okay, so now we're going to have, once again, EnVyUS going for that mid push. And again, as you said, that the ability to just have such a high pace and just consistently be, or just continually be moving is so strong. Is so strong. Especially on a site like the A-bomb site here, where there's lots of angles to clear. You can just get in their faces super quickly, and he's going to be the man to go to Banana and get the frag on the B player.
It's actually 3 players on B, and they planted on A.
They want the kills, man. They want to make their money.
Yeah, they want that Mac 10 kill, 600 bonus. NBK being one of the guys playing defensively actually gets Edouard. I thought he was going to go down there.
Their money is ridiculous. Look at it.
Yeah.
Are they going to keep the Mac 10s going?
They might keep a couple.
3 Mac 10s still in the mix, and oh, 2. Okay, 2 now. Okay,
I mean, it's not that bad of an idea. I mean, if you send those guys first, if you actually do an execution, they can clear and get the information so much faster. Plus, they can actually, they're actually going for fast mid push here. To get shoxy down from Guardian, but instantly refrag. And NBK running around with that Mac 10, doing work here on short. Picks up a FAMAS. picks up Edouard as, but it's still a 2-2 situation.
No, NBK's going to go down to flamie, so well handled there by NaVi, winning their buy round. And certainly the weakness was probably having the Mac 10s in there, but...
Probably, yes, but it felt like it kind of split up too much. They got the long player playing the arch area, and they got the short player. There's basically no need to have the bomb actually circle around from long to push the side. They could have just gathered up and pushed short together and gotten a safe plant from there after picking up that pit guy. But I mean, it's situational, of course. But for me, it would make more sense for me if everyone gathered up and pushed short.
Right now, NaVi looking to push banana a little bit. They have a couple men quite deep down on banana, rotating one back. Have a reinforced A defense. As happy, this is very scary when an AWPer takes himself to boiler. This angle is super strong for the AWPer. However, there won't be anybody else there at the moment to challenge him. NaVi are playing much further back than that. So there goes the flash into middle by kioShiMa to get his team some control here of the map. But Guardian's going to flash himself out, takes the duel against SmithZz, and he's going to win that one. And Happy now has to come into play with a frag to open things back up here. But he's not going to spot anybody. They are not giving any free shots or peeks to EnVyUS. Very smart play there from NaVi.
I wonder if actually EnVyUS will push through the smoke now. They must have gotten information with 4 on A, and NBK pushes through, gets flamie, and now secures the bomb side for Envy.
So smart there from EnVyUS. That was the one play they had to make, and they do it just in the nick of time. C's now going to be on construction. The only man actually there on the retake potential for his team, and the rest of them, they're like, hey, this rotation's so huge, we got to save. C's is not even going to be escaped. Take no prisoners mode engaged by Happy, and perfect call running through that smoke. Absolutely perfect.
They must have seen someone taking a duel who shouldn't have been there, because usually you know what teams have certain positions that, for example, flamie will always be lurking A holes and A apartments as terrorists for NaVi, and they must have seen the rotation come in, take a duel, called it to the team, and actually, oh, he holds B, let's hit B fast, because it felt like kind of weird that there were 2 men in A apartments and 2 men actually pushing banana on themselves and actually pushing through a smoke. So they must have had that information.
Absolutely, yeah. That is the most logical explanation to the situation. So 10-10 now the score. As EnVyUS, they break the money, they break the bank of NaVi. NaVi are going to be somewhat money screwed.
Actually, looks kind of good for Envy. I mean, they have so much money to work with. They don't lose that many players when they win these T rounds, and just very, very solid T side. As you said they have a solid T side here on Inferno, and they've been showing it right now.
And they're going to go with a middle take now of their own, something NaVi were doing very often. NaVi got 2 men towards arch side, not something they've shown before, and SmithZz getting that pick onto Edouard is going to give the confidence to shoxy to move into position there. Now, as we are going to see, a really nice execution here from EnVyUS, pushing all the way down onto that A bomb site, once again getting the bomb plant for minimal losses, and NaVi are getting completely cut down. They've got nothing to go on at the moment, just with the pistol on flamie. And he's going to be easily cleaned up as well, and things are just going to get potentially worse here for NaVi unless they are able to grasp things back on their next fight. It's really hard to see the kind of chances they have going into this one if they can't string a round or 2 together very soon.
It also goes down. Still decent eco from NaVi, but the money is ridiculous on EnVyUS at this point. They have 2 people with over 7k and 6,000 and 4,000 on the rest there, and they're actually on a eco again here from NaVi.
Okay, so
going for that double eco. Maybe they feel like they're getting picked too often. Kind of want to stop that with an AWPing presence for Guardian. So. We'll see how that works out, and it's not a bad idea, but I kind of like to see NaVi maybe taking control over banana CT, making EnVyUS push for the A side more consistently, maybe putting 4 people there after a while. EnVyUS, so strong individual team. They just take the duels everywhere. Doesn't matter if they're alone or not. When they're hitting their shots, they're ruthless.
They are very scary indeed. Now, the thing that's interesting is that they've lost absolutely no one here, so their money is going to be pretty good unless Guardian is can pick up a kill or two. But that's I don't know how likely it's going to be, but Guardian isn't in the smoke. All the smoke has gone away. That's going to help EnVyUS massively. And I mean, NaVi, they've been their money has been reset, and they've been they've been put into a spot where they just have nothing to go on. Had to double eco, and now we're going to see the buy coming. Guardians on the AWP. This has got to be it. This has to be the moment where they do either significant damage, well, even that wouldn't be enough. They've got to take the round here. They need to get the things going. Yeah. And are they going to be playing it aggressive here on Banana? They've only got the 2-man.
They've actually smoked bottom Banana, but NBK's actually pushed through. This could be disastrous for NaVi. Gets one and gets seized to 16 HP. Icy actually pushed through there all alone.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite sick because NaVi kind of cutting a corner there. Instead of doing it with 3 men, doing it with all the grenades, all the Molotovs, and to actually take it properly, they kind of cut the corner, and NBK's there to punish it. Very, very good there from NBK. And now, 3 on 4. EnVyUS needs something. Happy will deliver. Taking down Guardian. That is an important one. Guardian. Now out of play, and SmithZz picking off Seized. They are falling like dominoes, one after another. Edouard gets himself a kill finally to hold down this A bomb site. He's giving his teammate just enough time to rotate. Excellent work here from Edouard. He's delayed just enough now so Zeus can get into a potentially favorable engagement against kioShiMa post-plant. Here he goes now as the nades come in a flurry. And there it is, Zeus and kioShiMa. Who will win it? It's going to be Zeus. He picks it up for NaVi. Such an important round win, but the cost was very significant, losing 4 men. And they bought up fully. So,
I mean, looking for EnVyUS part, they get the bomb plant, they get 1 surviving CT member on the opposing side. This is like the perfect round to lose for them.
Yeah. Because now, I mean, they're going to have a terrible buy.
Yeah.
EnVyUS have a really good chance to money screw them all over again and then win the match.
Yeah,
so
basically.
It's almost as if they, it's almost as if they wanted that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of like that. I mean, of course you want to win the rounds,
NaVi,
but...
here you go.
Yeah, seriously, this is rough for NaVi, unless they pull out some star performance here.
It's like they're not taking that shortcut. They still have that extra member on B, but he wasn't pushing out Banana with them. Rotation coming in from long, and they're very, very passive here, EnVyUS. Keep 3 people here in slope, while 2 of the other guys taking over apartments to get that map control. Let's see if they actually want to hit this A site.
If you're looking for the scoped shots.
Like that EnVyUS, they're taking their time. They know that NaVi is probably not going to have that many nades. I mean, they're all out of nades with 1 minute. Oh, NBK through the smoke actually takes down the flamie. Sees to defend the Banana. Picks up NBK, but it's in an awkward position as all the terrorists are actually going to flood in.
Wow, he gets 2 quick kills. Amazing there from Seized, making the best of a terrible situation. And now we have, of course, the plant come in for EnVyUS. They have a chance to completely break NaVi and bring themselves into a crazy advantageous position.
Huge amounts of damage to SmithZz as well. He's down to 12 HP after that.
There's a shot from Happy, takes down Guardian, but there's 2 more where that came from. Zeus and Edouard make their way in together. There's the excellent position on first oranges, and what team play there from EnVyUS. They will take the round, and NaVi've got nothing left to go on.
Yeah, I mean, they have 1.4, 2.5, 2.3, and they're in a horrible money situation. And we see they're going for a full eco. No one's even buying a pistol, nothing at all, and they need to, they need to buy the next round and kind of get this over. I don't think the actual damage they do will affect that much. See shox having the mission take control over apartments. He gets the kill on Edouard. Happy picks up flamie here on the Banana, and it's very passive. They're just waiting for NaVi's aggression at this point. Zeus.
Oh, hello.
Picks up shox.
James Bond action. James Bond at Zeus. There he goes. Picks down SmithZz as well. Now they've actually done a surprising amount of damage in this round.
Yeah. This is potentially winnable. Should probably not be. this point. They want to save that AK. They have so little money that it's actually crucial for them to save this. Or are they actually trying to go for it?
Yeah, that AK is actually...
Should not take this duel.
Oh, this is going to be rough potentially. There is the frag for Zeus, though. And as you said, I mean, this will be their second loss in a row, so that's like 1,900. The AK is worth 2,700, so you can see the big difference there. It's one spot where keeping that AK is really important, and that is going to be a really big win. Okay. So the armor's going to follow there for Zeus. They should really buy here, shouldn't they?
See, Edouard actually picking up the MP7.
There it is. Hey man, the MP7 is sick.
Yeah, it is. It's very annoying. It's to the point where it's annoying to face.
Almost, I think they did the deep banana smoke. They're playing a 3-man aggression on the B area. Banana is under control of NaVi, just barely. Flamie picking up the couple kills they needed.
Didn't Edouard have an MP7? Did he get dropped one after he bought an MP7?
It must have been a miscommunication there. Either way, it's not something you want to happen with such small money, but we're going to see Banana be under control of NaVi. They're taking an early advantage, but EnVyUS, they decided, hey, you know what, you can have Banana. We're going to boot you out of arch side as kioShiMa takes down Guardian. SmithZz very fast, has to worry about library side. kioShiMa's there, does get taken down by Zeus. This is painful now. SmithZz needs to get onto that bomb site with the bomb. Here he goes, takes down Zeus, and he will be able to ferry that bomb over. Now shox can take position and start to be really impactful in this round for his team in this post-plant situation. As SmithZz and Flamie are going to make their way in now.
Who do, however, have a player in pit, which is a crucial position here for the terrorists.
There goes shox with the spray, takes down SmithZz, and SmithZz gets his as well. 15-11. EnVyUS with a very astonishing T side so far are able to bring themselves into a very favorable position.
NaVi's only picked up 2 rounds. And it's going to be basically, let's see here. 2 rounds and they're already on 9 terrorist rounds here in EnVyUS.
On the last round
starting the half.
Last round they won, they lost 4 players as well. So, I mean, they're not, I don't know if they even really won that round.
Yeah, exactly.
It ended up being much better for EnVyUS in the big scheme of things. Oh no. Poor Zeus running into the spray. EnVyUS looking to close this one out very quickly. And 3 men left for NaVi. And Edouard coming in with his MP7. Out there. Use that P2000, but not going to happen. 16-11, and EnVyUS will take themselves a very, very much needed map win. They really need every single win they can possibly get. We all saw how far down the table they were, and it's a really, really desperate situation for them. So it's great that they could do that for them. NaVi, they are the team that have only, well, they've now played, I guess, 6 maps, but they've played by far the least. They're like 4 behind everyone else. So, so NaVi can still do a lot of damage in the league. They can still gain a lot of points. But yeah, very crucial one for EnVyUS.
Yeah, I mean, impressive T-sides from both teams, I would say. And it's quite weird in a sense, because the Tech 9 is nerfed. It's not there for the T-side anymore. And still they managed to pick up this amount of T-rounds. I mean, 9 rounds for NaVi and 10 for EnVyUS. Not sure what's going on here. The meta game is switching, and it's hard to tell why everyone's getting more T-rounds nowadays.
It's really rough as well when you start CT and you lose that pistol round. That really sucks. Really sucks. I wonder if NaVi would have wanted to play more kind of incendiary, like very strong banana holds, but they never had the money to even really even think about buying an incendiary. So we could see later on they were cutting corners there as well, just trying to do the push, but without the proper grenades and NBK punishing them. It's rough. It's really rough, isn't it?
I mean, winning like a T pistol and then winning first gun round. You basically won 2 rounds, but you have 5 on the scoreboard, right? So it can be really, really punishing those early rounds.
All right, well, guys, we are going to take a quick break whilst we set up the next match. It will be TSM versus Virtus.pro on Inferno as well, so stay with us. We'll be right back.